A story of fatal manipulation, the Ricky Naputi story. Good morning, beautiful people. It's Mama Goob. Today I want to tell you a story about fatal manipulation as it relates to food addiction. Every morbid obese person has at least one enabler in their life. Although death by gluttony and the enabling spouse are common tropes in so-called reality TV shows like My 600-Pound Life and other such documentaries on TLC, many times there is more to this issue than what you are seeing on the surface. Today I want to discuss the documentaries on the Guam man, Ricky Naputi, who opened up his home to a film crew during his last 3 years of life, and my opinion on why he was unable to lose enough weight to get surgery and what was ultimately responsible for his death. As a reminder, I'm not a doctor, a lawyer, or even a financial advisor. I'm just a 40-something mom who has been obese, has had vertical sleeve gastrectomy 8 years ago, and have mostly maintained my goal weight. I do not know the Naputis or any of their family members personally. I started a YouTube channel to build a community to discuss the impacts that morbid obesity is having on our culture and our real lives. Today, I would like to take a deeper dive into the life of Ricky Naputi and why I think their portrayal in the media of him was unfair, especially to his wife, Cheryl. Well before the phenomenon of the show My 600-Pound Life, during 2013, 2 documentaries on Ricky's life and death were produced. The first, which was called The Man Who Ate Himself to Death, was aired by Channel 5 in the UK, and TLC followed him for their documentary, 900-Pound Man, The Race Against Time. Both documentaries are currently unavailable in the United States, and very few clips of these documentaries exist. So I will go off my memory for the most part of this, as I think this is an important topic to discuss. I would also really love to hear what you guys think. Do any of you remember either of these documentaries? Please leave a comment below, as I do read them all. I also would really love it if you hit that subscribe button, as I would absolutely love it if I could get to 1,000 subscribers by my birthday on March 2nd. Without further ado, let me introduce you to Ricky and give you a bit of his background story. Ricky Jr. Naputi was born in the United States territory of Guam on June 20th, 1973. Although he was mostly a normal-sized child, the weight started ballooning when he was a teenager and eventually found himself completely bedbound for the last 7 years of his life. Ricky met his wife Cheryl about 10 years before the documentaries were filmed, and they were soon married. Cheryl was fully responsible for Ricky's care, including feeding, bathing, and toileting, and described him as a large toddler. It was estimated that Ricky weighed as much as 900 pounds. The island of Guam lacked the medical facilities to care for Ricky, whether that be for giving him weight loss surgery or even checking him into a nursing home to put him on a strictly monitored diet in order to make it safe to transport him to the United States for the surgery, as no one on the island had the equipment or resources to safely handle his large size. There have been multiple attempts to intervene by medical experts to help Ricky lose weight, which is about 100 pounds, enough to get bariatric surgery, but they have failed. One of the common issues in this documentary was his sole caretaker. Why did Cheryl feel compelled to keep feeding him? About 3 weeks before he died, he was visited by an expert bariatric surgeon and his team, who actually flew to Guam to see him. The surgeon, upon greeting them, commented that Cheryl was a big part to blame for Ricky failing to lose weight, because she is the lone provider of the amount and quantity of food that Ricky eats. He suggests the two not living in the same room together and having someone else take care of Ricky for the time being. She had been blamed for him not losing weight throughout the documentaries. Several days after that, Cheryl apparently abruptly told Ricky she was leaving him, as in divorcing him, and will be moving away. About an hour or two later, she finds Ricky unconscious with his bottle of antidepressant medication entirely empty. Upon arrival of emergency services, he is pronounced dead at the scene. The TLC documentary aired the 911 call that Cheryl made the night Ricky died.
Not responding to me.
So, do you feel a pulse?
It was okay. I don't know what happened. I was just laying here.
So, what was Cheryl's motivation to feed Ricky huge quantities of unhealthy food? It was estimated that Ricky had to have been eating at least 10,000 calories a day. He was completely bedbound and could not get up at all to get his own food or to chase Cheryl around when she refused to feed him. Was she trying to unalive him? Did she not love him? Well, I think she actually loved him very much, despite that he was mentally, if not physically, abusing her. From now on, I will refer to this as MA. I have no idea if my theory is true, as I wasn't there. And TLC took the easy way out by just focusing on his obesity, where I think they could have made a more compelling documentary had they dove deeper into the MA Cheryl was most likely experiencing. Why do I think this? Well, Cheryl made a statement to get their codependent loved ones to keep buying them the booze, giving them money for drugs, or to keep bailing them out of experiencing the full consequences of their addiction. They gaslight, they manipulate, they belittle. I imagine the scenario went something like this. Ricky probably told Cheryl that she was worthless unless she brought him the food. He probably told her that she was ugly and no one else would want her. So she might as well just keep making him happy and bringing him the food. I bet he also said things like that if she didn't stay and take care of him, including bringing him the food, that he would find a way to unalive himself. And he made her feel guilty about this. I think Cheryl got tired of this. If Ricky MAing her wasn't enough, she constantly got lectured by doctors about feeding him. Even his family gave her crap and blamed her for his problems. But you don't see any of them washing his butt. She didn't even go to his funeral, as his family apparently blamed her for his death. So I'm guessing that one day Cheryl said enough is enough and called his bluff. And he went through with it. He died on November 10th, 2012. I have no idea how Cheryl is doing right now, but I hope she got the therapy and the counseling she needed and was able to move on and to have a happier life. So, what do y'all think? Do you think Ricky manipulated himself to an untimely death? Or do you think Cheryl just liked to watch him suffer? Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. Mwah.